Hey, you, welcome back to Medium with the Mic. I'm Carrie Bandel, the owner of Sacred Whispers Studio. Oh, empaths. I want to talk about the empaths, the people who walk into a room and feel the entire energetic weather system of every single person in it before they've said a word to anyone. The people who can't watch the news without physically feeling it in their body. The people who get called too sensitive so often that they started to wonder if there's something wrong with them. Well, there's nothing wrong with you. There never was. You just came in with the dial turned really, really high. I want to start personal today, and I want to tell you something I didn't fully understand about myself until way later in life. And I think it might sound very familiar to some of you. In my lifetime, starting about 8 years old, I attended a ridiculous number of funerals, way more than weddings. And as we progress in life, that seems to snowball. I couldn't even count how many funerals, just way too many, far more than you'd expect for any one person. And for years, I noticed something that confused me, that honestly kind of embarrassed me. I would cry at funerals of people I didn't even know, people I had never met. I would go to support a friend or a family member, someone who had lost a loved one, and I would be crying. And I remember thinking, what is wrong with me? This isn't even my loss. Why am I falling apart? I'm here for them. And I thought maybe I was dramatic or overly emotional or just weird. What I didn't understand, what took me years to put a name to, was that I was picking up the energy in that room. Everyone's grief, everyone's shock, everyone's unspoken love for the person they'd lost. It was the weight of 100 broken hearts all hitting me at once. And I was just absorbing it, taking it in, feeling every single bit of it as if it were my own. That is what it means to be an empath. And it is so much bigger than just being a sensitive person. Today, I want to break that down for you, what an empath actually is, why it's an ability, not a curse, even when it feels like one. I want to tell you what science actually has to say about it. And then I want to walk you through the practical tools that changed my life, how to ground yourself into Mother Earth's, how to clear your energy field, and how to put up a layer of energetic protection. So you're not walking through life as a human sponge, soaking up everything around you. So, what is an empath and how is it different from just being a sensitive person? A highly sensitive person, sometimes called HSP, is someone whose nervous system processes sensory information more deeply. They notice subtleties. They get overwhelmed by loud environments. They feel their own emotions intensely. There's actual research on this. Dr. Elaine Aron coined the term in the 1990s and found that roughly 15 to 20% of the population falls into this category. It's a trait, not a disorder. It's a biological reality. But being an empath is a step beyond that, or maybe a step sideways. It's different, not just more. An empath doesn't just feel their own emotions deeply. An empath absorbs and actually feels other people's emotions as their own. You're not just noticing that someone is sad, you're feeling their sadness in your body. You walk into a room and your nervous system becomes a tuning fork for everyone else's frequency. There are different kinds of empaths too. And this is where it gets really interesting. Emotional empaths are the most commonly recognized. They feel the emotional states of others. Physical empaths pick up on the physical sensations and even pain of others. They may walk into a room and suddenly have a headache or a stomach ache that isn't theirs. Intuitive empaths receive information beyond what's visible. They know things about, well, without being told. This often overlaps with psychic ability. Then there are animal empaths who have a deep sensitivity to the emotions and needs of animals. Plant and earth empaths who feel the energetic state of nature. Geomanic empaths who feel the energy of places and locations. Now, here's something I want you to understand. And I believe psychic ability is something everyone is born with. It is not a rare gift that only a chosen few have. It is an ability. All of us come in somewhere on the dial between psychic and medium, between receiving information about the living and the world and receiving communication from those who've crossed. Empathic sensitivity is part of that spectrum. For some people, the dial is turned way up from birth. For others, it's quieter. But the ability is there. It just needs tending. It needs to be recognized, developed, and crucially, managed. Because here's the thing nobody warns you about when you're someone who cries at strangers' funerals. When you don't know you're an empath, you have no tools. You just walk through life getting flattened by the weight of everyone else's reality and thinking it's your own. Let me give you some science here because I love when the science backs up what we already know intuitively. Mirror neurons. You've maybe heard of this term. Mirror neurons are brain cells that fire both when you perform an action and when you observe someone else performing that action. They were famously discovered in macaque monkeys in the 1990s. Scientists found that when a monkey watched a researcher pick up a peanut, the same neurons fired as when the monkey picked it up itself. The monkey's brain essentially simulated the experience in real time. Humans have a mirror neuron system too, and researchers believe it underlies our capacity for empathy, our ability to simulate and feel what another person is going through. When you watch someone cry, your brain activates similar emotional and physical circuits to theirs. But here's the thing most people have a natural filter. Their brain says, okay, that's a simulation. That's not me, that's them. Empaths, it seems, may have a thinner or less active version of that filler. The simulation doesn't stay contained, it bleeds through. There's also research on something called emotional contagion, the way emotions spread from person to person, like a kind of energetic virus. This is measurable. Researchers have shown that if you sit near someone who is anxious, your cortisol levels, or your stress hormone, actually rise, even if you don't consciously register their anxiety. We are walking emotional broadcasting towers. And empaths are walking satellite dishes pointing at all of them at once. Then there's heart coherence research from the Heart Math Institute, which found that the electromagnetic field produced by the human heart is detectable several feet outside the body. We are literally radiating energy. And the heart fields of the people in close proximity interact with each other. What empaths may be doing is tuning in with unusual sensitivity to those fields. Science is catching up with what empaths have always known in their bodies. You are not making this up. Your nervous system is doing something real. Now, I want to talk about both sides of this because I think a lot of empaths I spent years experiencing only the burden without understanding the beauty. And the burden is real. The exhaustion after being in crowds, the way you can't have a conversation with someone who's suffering without taking some of that suffering into your body, the way you absorb the mood of a room so completely that you don't even realize you've shifted, the way relationships can drain you to the bone because you feel your partner's stress, your friend's anxiety, your child's heartbreak as vividly as your own. The struggle to set limits, the way you say yes to things that hurt you because you can physically feel other people's disappointment when you say no. Empath burnout is real. Empath anxiety is real. But not all of what we take on is dark or heavy. But when it is, when you're absorbing someone else's grief or someone else's rage, someone else's chronic depression, and you don't have the tools to clear it, you can start to believe it's yours. You can start to build an identity around emotions that don't even belong to you. But there is beauty in it too. Empaths make extraordinary healers, therapists, caregivers, parents, teachers, and friends. You can walk into a room and know immediately who needs to be seen, who needs to be held, who is struggling beneath a smile. You can build trust quickly because people feel genuinely met by you. Animals love you. Children trust you. The dying feel safe with you. One of my favorite things to do is send love and understanding to a stranger who's struggling. Just a little, I see you. You are you are tuned in to this life at a frequency most people can't reach. That is, it's not a malfunction, it's an ability. And once you learn to work with it, once you have the tools to manage your field, it stops being a curse and becomes the most powerful thing about you. Okay, let's get into the tools. And I want to go kind of deep here because I think it's where people need the most practical help. The first and most foundational tool is grounding, connecting yourself to the energy of the earth. Why does this matter? When empaths absorb a lot of external energy, we tend to get pulled upward, out of the body, out of the physical, floating in a kind of energetic static. Grounding pulls you back down. It reconnects you to the earth's stabilizing frequency, which has an actual measurable charge. The Schumann resonance, the electromagnetic frequency of the earth. It hovers around 7.83 hertz. Interestingly, that frequency overlaps with the human brain's alpha wave state, which is associated with calm, relaxed alertness. When we ground ourselves, we're literally sinking to the Earth's frequency. Science has also studied something called earthing or grounding, which refers to direct physical contact with the earth. Bare feet on grass, soil, rocks, sand. Studies have shown that earthing can reduce cortisol, improve sleep, reduce inflammation, and calm the autonomic nervous system. There's measurable electron transfer between the earth and the human body when we make physical contact with it. We are not separate from the earth, we are of it. Here are several ways to ground yourself. Try them all. Find what works for you and use different ones in different situations. Bare feet on earth, the simplest, most ancient, most powerful. Just take your shoes off. Stand on earth, the grass, soil, sand, or rock. Even 10 minutes makes a difference. If you can, stand near a tree because trees are incredible grounding anchors. And here's a tree visualization. This is my go to when I can't get outside. Close your eyes. Feel the soles of your feet on the floor. Visualize roots growing from the base of your spine and the bottoms of your feet, moving down through the floor, through the layers of the earth, down through the rock and soil and aquifer, all the way to the molten core of the earth. Let those roots wrap around the core. Breathe. Feel yourself anchored. Feel the earth's energy coming back up through those roots. Warm, steady, ancient, stable. You are held. Physical movement. Walking, yoga, stretching, dancing, anything that brings you back into your body. Empaths especially need physical activity to stay grounded because we can spend so much of our energy in the energetic and emotional realms that we forget we have a body. Food and water. It sounds basic. It is. But eating and drinking, especially warm, dense, mineral rich food, is physically grounding. Root vegetables, especially. There's a reason they grow in the earth. Salt, Himalayan salt, sea salt, Epsom salt baths. Salt is a natural energy absorber and purifier. A saltwater bath is one of the most effective grounding and clearing tools available to you. Sound. Drumming specifically has long been used in indigenous cultures to ground energy and call the spirit back into the body. Even listening to a drum beat can shift your energetic state. There's a reason shamanic drumming exists in cultures across the world with no connection to each other. They all found the same technology. Grounding stabilizes you. Clearing is different. Clearing is removing what isn't yours. If you are an empath and you've been walking through the world absorbing energy without clearing regularly, you are carrying things that do not belong to you. Other people's grief, other people's anxiety, old energies from spaces you've passed through, heavy frequencies you picked up in a hospital, at a funeral, in a difficult conversation. It accumulates. And the longer it accumulates, the heavier you feel. And the more that weight starts to seem normal, starts to feel like it's just who you are. It is not who you are, it is what you've collected. And you can put it down. Here are some ways to clear your energy field: smoke and smudging. Burning sage, palo santo, cedar, or other sacred plants has been used across cultures for thousands of years to clear energetic residue. The smoke carries intention and physically shifts the frequency of a space or a person. You can smudge yourself by moving the smoke around your body, including under your feet and over your head. As you do, set a clear intention. I release all energy that is not mine. I release what no longer serves me. Sound, singing bowls, bells, tuning forks. Sound vibration is incredibly effective at disrupting stagnant energy. You can use a singing bowl around your body or simply in your space. Sound literally breaks up energetic density. Breath work. The breath is one of the most underused clearing tools. A simple practice would be to breathe in slowly to a count of 4 and hold it for 4. Then exhale slowly to the count of 8. The extended exhale activates the parasympathetic nervous system and moves energy out of the body. Some people like to add intention, breathing in golden light, breathing out gray or heavy energy. Do this for 5 to 10 minutes and notice the shift. Water. Standing in a shower and visualizing the water washing away everything that what isn't yours is remarkably effective. Water is a conductor and a cleanser. Let it take what doesn't belong to you. Body shaking. And this one sounds a little funny, but it's backed by actual somatic research. Shaking the body the way animals do naturally after a stressful event discharges stress hormones and resets the nervous system. You can literally shake your hands, your arms, your legs, or bounce gently on your heels. It all works. Setting intention out loud. Do not underestimate the power of speaking clearly to your own energy field. Something as simple as saying out loud, I release all energy that is not mine. I reclaim my own energy. Return to sender with love. Say this with conviction in your own voice, in your own space. It's energetically significant. After you've grounded and cleared, protection is about what you allow in going forward. Now, I want to say, I think the word protection can scare people or make them think that they're trying to wall themselves off from the world. That is not what we're doing. We are not trying to stop feeling. Feeling is the ability. We're not trying to become numb. We are setting an intelligent filter, one that says, only that which is for my highest good may enter my field. And here's a paradox I want to sit with for a second. Sometimes what is for our highest good doesn't feel good. Sometimes we need to feel something hard. Sometimes witnessing someone else's pain is part of our purpose in a given moment. Putting up protection doesn't mean you won't feel anything. It means you're choosing how much of what you take in rather than having no say about it at all. Here are some protection practices. The light shield. Close your eyes, breathe, visualize a sphere of brilliant white or golden light completely surrounding your body. Around you in every direction, above and below, a full egg of light. You can set the intention. Only that which is for my highest good may enter this field. Everything else bounces off or transforms before it reaches me. Hold that image and breathe it solid. Do this before entering any high energy situation, a crowd, a hospital, a difficult conversation, a family gathering. Color layers. Some practitioners like to build this in layers. A layer of white light, then a layer of violet for spiritual protection, then a layer of mirrored silver that reflects back energy that is not intended for you. Black tourmaline. This is one of the most loved stones for protection. Wear it. Keep it in your pocket. Put it by your front door, even. Black tourmaline is believed to be a powerful energetic shield and a transmuter of negative energy. I would ask you to try it and just see what you notice. Calling in your guides. Now, your guides are with you all the time. They've been with you since the moment you took human form. And whatever your relationship to spirit, source, guides, angels, ancestors, your higher self, ask for protection. Ask to be surrounded. This is not weakness, it's wisdom. You're not meant to do this work alone. Decluttering your inputs. Protection isn't only energetic, it's practical. Who do you follow on social media? Who do you allow to take up space in your phone and on your mind? What news do you consume and how much of it? Your energy field includes your digital environment, so be intentional. And the most unsexy but critical protection tool, the word no. I believe no is a complete sentence. But empaths often struggle fiercely with limits because saying no feels like causing pain, and we feel pain physically. But running yourself to empty for others is not service, it is self abandonment. A depleted empath helps no one. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot offer a clear channel when your own field is overwhelmed. So, saying no is part of your spiritual practice. My mentor taught this concept of ground clear protect as a complete package, always done together and every single day. She referred to it as GCP, and it can be done very quickly in your head in tough situations. So go out into the world and share your magic knowing you're protected. Your team on the other side, the universe, whatever you resonate with, knows what your intention is when you're doing it quickly. And let me tell you this, the last funeral I was at, it was on repeat in my head. So GCP often throughout the day. Go into the world knowing you're grounded, have fresh energy and protection from negative energy, and create magic wherever you go. Being an empath is an ability, it is something you carry, something that deepens and clarifies the more you tend to it. It is not a diagnosis, it's not a disorder, it's not something that needs to be fixed, but it does need to be managed. It does need to be cared for. Your energy is a resource. Your field is a responsibility. And now, if you didn't before, you have tools. So ground yourself to Mother Earth. She is steady beneath you always. Clear your field regularly. You deserve to walk around in your own energy, not everyone else's. And protect yourself with intention, not fear. There's a difference between being wide open to all of it and choosing what comes through. You get to choose. To the 8-year old and beyond at all of those funerals, crying for people she'd never met, she wasn't dramatic. She wasn't too sensitive. She was picking up the grief of everyone in that room with a heart wide open and no tools to hold it. I see her now, and I want to see you too. You are not too much. You're exactly right. Thank you so much for being here. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone else who might need it. And if you've been getting value from this show, I would love it if you'd leave a comment, subscribe, and feel free to visit my website, sacredwhispers1111.com. You can read more about me, sign up for a weekly email, catch the latest podcasts, and buy me a coffee on my podcast page. I pour a lot into this, and every bit of support means the world to me. I'll see you next week. Take good care of yourselves and each other, and keep listening to those whispers of wisdom.